Hello everyone, this is day 41 of this video series, and I haven't done an investing video in a while, so this is what this video is going to be about. And it's going to be about how to protect your money and your wealth in a market crash, and perhaps even benefit from it. And so, regarding yesterday's video, the live streaming has gone good. I just finished off a 3-hour study live stream, and that went alright. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to do one, because in the afternoon I have work, and then I've worked the next day, so next day early morning, so there's not really much time in between for me to do a study stream, but I've been really productive and it's been really good. But anyway, back onto the video topic. What should you do when it seems like the world is falling down and the market crash happens? Well, the first thing that you should do is prepare for it, but not prepare for it in a way that you overcompensate, I guess. And you over leverage yourself in those things that'll protect you against it. So stuff like buying gold, putting a lot of your wealth in gold and Bitcoin, like that is not a really good idea, no matter how positive I am on crypto and what future it has in terms of preparing for a market crash. You have to remember that everything kind of goes down. There are stocks that are more defensive than others, and that is what you could be scaling into. But also, generally, if the stock market, the equity market is way overvalued and you expect a correction soon, then the most safe idea is actually to start building your war chest. So it's building up your cash reserves, maybe selling off the ones that are in profit already and that you think are overvalued. And so when those great companies turn cheap again, that you can buy them with the cash that you gain. So this is kind of timing the market, but it's not particularly. So you keep withdrawing a little bit of cash, keep adding to your cash pile until eventually that day comes. So honestly, it could be in a decade. It might not be for another few years, but you have to do. So that's why you have to do it in a sustainable way. You have to find that balance in between losing, I guess, between the gains that you'll lose out on if you were to just go into the defensive stuff and not the high growth tech companies like Apple and Tesla and stuff like that. You need to find a trade-off between the two, between the stable companies and the growth companies. And that also depends on whether you're looking for value investing, so whether you think something is undervalued, or whether you're looking at growth prospects, so growth companies like Tesla, which isn't making as much now, but you think in the future that it'll be a really successful company worth its current valuation. And so during a financial correction, the things that get hit first are those high growth stocks like Tesla. And so if you believe that it's going to come, and it could come, there will always be corrections, but right now we've gone a bit parabolic in the S&P 500, at least since the COVID crash. And so even Warren Buffett has started building up his cash. He's got 130 billion, I think, as of 2021. And so I guess that also symbolizes to him that things are getting a bit overheated in the market. It may still have a lot of run to go, but starting to build up those cash reserves in case of a 10% crash in which you can use those cash reserves is what's important. And so what I'm doing is, because I suddenly got, we're talking about small money because I'm a teenager, but because I drove Uber Eats, and the promotion money was really good. So now I got a sudden windfall, so an unexpected gain of around $1,000. So I've used that, and I'm not going to touch that at all. That's money that I'm only going to use in case of something serious like that. Because what that allows me to have allows me the safety of being able to do the next strategy, which will also help out, and that is dollar cost averaging. So no matter what state the market is in, you always purchase the same amount of money. And then what you can do to even lessen, so that's the normal dollar cost averaging strategy. And what that will do is it'll just give you the average return gains of the market. So in case of the S&P 500, that'll be around 10% a year, give or take. And so if you constantly do that over time, you'll eventually get to that average. And so that's really good. But the one thing is that you're missing out a lot in case. So if you want to be a bit more sophisticated, then what you can do is what I was talking about earlier, and that's having those cash reserves ready. And then as like each time the market goes down, your dollar cost averaging slowly increases. And you have to do that in a sustainable way in which even if the market goes down 50%, you still have some left to keep going. So make sure you're not doing it in a way that will just deplete your cash reserves completely. I made that mistake at the start, and I obviously thought it had bottomed, like a cryptocurrency had bottomed out, but obviously it had more room to go down. So that was a mistake on my part, and I learned from that. And I hope you guys also don't do that mistake in the future, because it is quite a costly one. And yeah, that's kind of what you want to do in a crash scenario, is that you want to have those cash reserves sitting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm also setting aside some of my work money, like a portion of it, to put only into my cash reserves, I guess. And so I'm not dollar cost averaging as hard as I am dollar cost averaging a bit more than I used to, but that's also because I'm making more. And so proportional wise, I'm doing it a bit less because I want those cash reserves. And the economic environment, I guess, is uncertain right now as to where it's going to go. But I'm still dollar cost averaging, still adding to my crypto reserves, I guess. That's the main thing I'm putting it into. Traditional equities wise, I've kind of sold out of, because I don't know, I just believe that crypto has a future, and we'll see if I get burnt by that in 1 or 2 years time. But I'm pretty confident in my prediction. And yeah, I hope this video, I guess, gave you some ideas as to what to do during economic meltdown where everyone is gonna die and we're all gonna eat breadsticks for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's about all I have to say, honestly. So DCA, dollar cost averaging through the market to get average returns, but having those cash reserves, which is number 2, building up your war chest, so that as the market dips lower and lower in a market correction, and you don't know when it'll bottom out, you have those cash reserves to start dollar cost averaging at a more aggressive pace as it goes down, and do that sustainably. That's basically it. And there's also, I guess, the staple consumer, like all the defensive sectors, which are like utilities, stuff that everyone kind of requires, even in a market crash. So that's why growth stocks are the first to go, because why would you be thinking about a new Tesla when you can't even buy food? So the first thing to go are the Teslas, the Apple, the iPhones, that stuff. And then last, all the stuff that are basically basic necessities and are stable. Those are the ones that you want to be in times of a crisis. And so that's about all I have for you today. I hope this video was somewhat informative. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. The next crash might come tomorrow, a year, in a few years, maybe even a decade's time, but you never know. And that's the thing. So start implementing the strategies, and I hope that we can all get rich together. All right, goodbye.